scientists, we are getting into our first NASCAR race, the Friction 500. And as you can tell from the title, what we're doing in this race is we are experimenting with how friction impacts the motion of objects. So what you need to do after you've read through all of the slides, go through all of those slides, is we're going to check out these procedures. And the first thing we need to do is gather the materials and set up our ramp, okay? So I have all my materials here. One more time, you need a phone or something to track time, like a timer. You need your toy car from your lab kit. You need a ramp. You need something to hold up your ramp. You need a ruler. I also provided in your lab kit, although yours looks a little different. And you need 3 different surfaces that you're going to use in your race. I've decided that I'm going to use aluminum foil. I'm going to use a trash bag, and my final surface will be a shirt. Okay? So after we have all our materials, we can then make our prediction because I'll know what materials I'm working with. So my first prediction is going to be which surface will cause my car to move the fastest. And I think that's going to be my aluminum foil. As for the surface that will cause my car to go the slowest, I think it's going to be the shirt, but we'll find out. So I'm going to record that on my paper. Well, in your slide. All right. The next thing that our procedures tell us to do is to measure the length of our ramp in centimeters. I've already done this, and my ramp is 60 centimeters long. If you're using the ruler at home, that ruler is only in centimeters. So use that, okay? Once you've measured the length of your ramp, you're going to record it up here in your data entry table. So I've got 60 centimeters. The reason we need to know that is so we can calculate our speed, right? Our speed is going to be the distance traveled divided by the time it took to travel that distance. This is so important. Okay. Now that I'm all set up, now that I have my materials, let's continue to read through the procedures. I need to place one surface, my aluminum foil, over my ramp and put a toy car at the top. Let the car travel down the ramp with no applied force. Then time how long it takes your car to travel down the whole ramp in seconds. So the reason for number 4 is to make sure that my ramp is steep enough. Once you found a good slope for your ramp, keep that for the whole race, okay? We want some consistency. So let's see, I'm going to get my timer. I got my stopwatch ready. I'm going to get my car here at the top. So I'm going to let go and time it. All right, that was 1.1 seconds. Now, I've got 1.1 seconds, but that does not get recorded here in my table. No, I need to record the speed. So the other thing on your materials list should have been a calculator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a calculator. I'm going to divide my length of my ramp, which is 60, divided by the number of seconds it took to get down the ramp, which is 1.1. That gives me 54.5. I will record that in trial 1. Okay, let's do another trial. Sorry, I'm trying to get my stopwatch. All right, so I've got my car, got my stopwatch. If you have a sibling, that might be helpful. Have a little assistant. Okay, 0.75 seconds. I'm going to go back to my calculator. The length of my ramp is 60 divided by the number of seconds it took to get down, which is 0.75. That speed is 80 centimeters per second. I will record it for trial 2. We have one more trial and then an average to calculate. All right, that one was 0.65. So again, I'm going back to my calculator. I'm going to divide the length of my ramp by the number of seconds it took to get down the ramp, which will give me the speed of that trial, 92.3. But that's not all. Now that I have the speed recorded for each trial, I need an average, okay? The way you calculate the average, the little post-it note up here tells you, you add trial 1 plus trial 2 plus trial 3. You divide all of that by 3. So we'll do 54.4 plus 80 plus 92.3 is 226.7 divided by the number of trials. My average speed is 75.5. I'm going to replicate exactly what I just did for each of my 3 surfaces. So I would take away my aluminum foil. I'd bring out my next surface. Okay, I'd get my stopwatch ready. My car would go down and I would record the speed in my table. So again, the distance divided by the number of seconds it took. That gets recorded for each trial. After each trial, you take your average, okay? Once you're finished with your race, I want you to do 2 things. First, go on Flipgrid. Tell us about your race. Tell us about your materials. Show us your setup. Tell us what your times were. The second thing I want you to do, submit that in a Google Doc. That way we can have it organized. Next week, we will announce the winners. We're looking for who can have the fastest race, who is going to have the slowest race, okay? Email me if you have any questions or stop by office hours on Tuesday at 2:30. Best of luck, my friends.